And then this is actually going to be one of them. So they're going to use McMillan off the edge. This is a game-winning play right here because it gets the ball back to Denver. Mahomes, you can see this is another thing as well. You see how he's clapping his hands like he wants that ball coming out. And the issue with this for the Chiefs is that, well, now the Broncos are going to be able to time this up. And you see how fast they just scream off of the edge. And there's a DB blitz coming. And there's nothing Mahomes can do besides protect the football and not take a sack. And Denver's defense is so elite that you just feel like I got to go out there and make a play. And Mahomes, like, look how he just tries to force this, man. You can see he tries getting up to here, and he just ends up underthrowing it because the pressure is coming in, and he's off balance, and it just ends up being intercepted. There is no reason whatsoever Mahomes should have thrown this football. Like, I get what he's trying to do, but, man, I mean, you got to throw that away and just live to see another down. You take points off the board, and if this pick doesn't happen, the Broncos might not win this game. It's just things like that end up being the biggest things. Like, turning the football over against the Broncos is just a recipe for disaster. That's exactly how you're going to lose to this team. All right, boys, so in this video, we're going to highlight my favorite plays from yesterday's win over the Chiefs. How about 9-2 on the season, 6-0 at home? I mean, this was the biggest win the Broncos have had since the Super Bowl, of course, against the Carolina Panthers. And let's break it down. So Bo Nix shotgun formation, 3rd and long situation. You can see Nix is able to step up in the pocket, create an angle for Sutton. So he comes down the field, and then he's able to break inside, and then here's where Nick starts to step up. So here he comes, Sutton's here, but he's going to end up going right back to where he just was. See, run, nope, go back, create that angle for Nix, and then possession catch, get down, secure it for that massive gain. One of the biggest plays of the game for Denver. I mean, who knows, if this doesn't connect, then the Broncos have to punt. And then on this one, just a simple shotgun formation once again. Bo Nix, just an absolute dot to Troy Franklin. See, this catch right here put points on the board. We're going to talk about a lot of plays today offensively that put points on the board and led to field goals. Look at this one, man. Boom. Right? Perfect throw by Nix, but this is just pure release. We broke this down yesterday, but look how he just absolutely cooks him at the line of scrimmage. I mean, as a former corner, man, I know this feeling all too well. That's why I'm making this video and not in the league, but look at this. Just, tries to press him. Nope. Got him. And then Bo Nix with a beautiful ball. Huge gain. Troy Franklin sure as hell made up for a couple of drops he had early on. Here's another look at it. Look at Nix, man. You can't throw a ball better than this, man. Go window two. Got him connect on that, and the Broncos certainly did. And then Nix, another lofting pass. This is the play, of course, that got them into that field goal range. This is the biggest play, the biggest catch of the game. Just a touch pass, and he gives his receiver, of course, a chance to go up and get it. He had him beat, so it just had to be anywhere pretty much close to him to that point. And Franklin, good job coming around and getting it, and then going down, holding onto the ball, getting Will Lutz in his range. To me, though, see, this set the tone of the game. Marvin Mims with a massive 70-yard punt return. I mean, the Broncos would have been in dangerous territory had this not had a big return. But instead, they're going to get the ball in great field position. I mean, obviously, I can't show the whole play. But look, like if this is a fair catch right here, you're talking about inside the 10. But he's going to end up bringing it all the way down, 70 yards down the field. And this is a massive play. And then, once again, it got points on the board, too. It doesn't seem like much, but the Broncos won by 3. So all these plays, they start to add up. And in defensive-minded games, field goals certainly win. Lions, cough, cough, right? Learn from the Denver Broncos. So on this one, it's just another return. It doesn't seem like much, but these extra yards add up a ton. Because, look, he runs out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Once you're approaching midfield, it allows you to get super aggressive and to go for it and to roll the dice, especially when you got a defense like Denver. So, again, if this ball is right here and he gets tackled here, you're at 20, 27, 28-yard line, and it's just not really much you can do. But once you get all the way out here, I mean, then you start to be able to you could call a different game. If it's a 3rd down, you can basically take a shot like the Broncos did a couple of times in this one, and it just opens up the playbook. So, and then this return right here, this was only for 7 yards, which is not like the best return, but it's funny because the Broncos kicked the game-winning field goal off of this punt. So literally every return that Mims had ended up putting points on the board. It's just kind of funny to think about because they do hand the ball up to him a ton. Yeah, that's Rashee Rice, and obviously he's not going to pick up a blocker. Yeah, the Broncos just blow this play up, and Mahomes tries to throw a ball fake. You can see like all he can really do is he steps up in the pocket. Like he does a good job of he throws that fake and the defender kind of bites on it, and because of him jumping up and batting it down potentially, Mahomes can't really go here. And that check down probably would have been a 1st down if he hit on it. But then all of a sudden, there's nowhere to go, and this is where the coverage comes into play. Like covered, covered the safety help in Hufanga, and now he's picked that up. There's just nowhere to go, and the edge is collapsing on him, and it ends up being a sack. So look at this. Look, 51 just does a great job here. Just completely shuts down this play. Look, you see jump up, and then that's taken away, and Mahomes tries to step up, but everything's covered, and he just goes down. And then on this play, the Broncos get creative. If we're being honest with you, Vince Joseph is the player of this game. He didn't play, obviously. He's the defensive coordinator calling the plays. I'm not going to put him on the thumbnail because it's YouTube. Like, it's going to get less views. But he is easily, in my opinion, the biggest winner of this game. Like, the Broncos defense won this game. Bo Nix was awesome. But, I mean, look how he just disguises this. And watch. Ready? Go. It's just a blitz off of the edge, corner, DB blitz. And the Chiefs have no answer for it. Yeah, so context matters here. So even though you do this, right, so here comes the blitz, and obviously if there's a blitz, you want to throw to where the blitz is coming from. But even if you do that, you have two defenders here and four back here. So it's basically you have to go like 70 yards down, like all the way down to the end zone. And Mahomes, he's trying to hold the ball and make something happen, and then 4 seconds feels like 2 seconds when you have to go 70 yards. So that's why you see Mahomes, of course. He's got about 4 seconds, but he has to go 70 yards down the field. So the best thing that Vance Joseph could have done is literally to just blitz the DB off the edge and just get to him. And I love to see that. There was a couple of DB blitzes that worked out pretty well. So I mentioned it earlier that this is the biggest win the Broncos have had since the Super Bowl, and I stand on that, man. This was one of those games that it makes you believe you have what it takes to win it all. It just proves it that, hey, look, yeah, 8-2. But really, like the one elite team that we had beaten is the Philadelphia Eagles. But now, of course, you cross off the Eagles, who won the Super Bowl. You cross off the Chiefs. You hadn't beaten them in what feels like an eternity, especially at home, right? And now you're 9-2. You're tied with the Patriots for the best record in football. And you know that the Chiefs are 500. Now they're essentially 2 games out of the playoffs because of the Jags tiebreaker. The Colts play the Chiefs coming off of a bye this Sunday, of course, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. So Denver's in a good spot, because just the teams that are sort of in the race with them are the Colts, who the leverage call, obviously. The Jags are not going to be easy by any means. And then you got to deal with the Bills. The Ravens probably are going to win the division, in my opinion, the AFC North. So there's competitive teams, but just the Broncos match up so well with them because their defense will keep them in every game. And in the fourth quarter, like every game's always close, and Bo Nix just seems to erupt. I mean, he's got, 5 game-winning drives now to this point? I mean, that is not normal. The Broncos, they're playing at a level right now that teams could only dream of doing, and they haven't even gotten to that next level yet. They're still improving every single week, and it's crazy to think that there's only been 11 weeks of football. They have a bye, which I think is the perfect time to do so, coming off of a hot win. I mean, of course, you'd like to keep that momentum, but no, let's just get that buy-in, and at Washington, at Las Vegas, 2 road games, and then 2 difficult home games against the Packers and Jags, and then at Arrowhead, and then against the Chargers. Now, that Chiefs game might not seem like much, but man, I mean, the Chiefs are going to need that game, I'm sure, to make the playoffs. So if you have a chance to knock out a rival like that, a team that's had your number, you want to do it. Because let's face it, I don't think there's anyone listening right now that would want the Chiefs in the playoffs. I wouldn't. I'll be honest. I'm not going to be a softie. I would not want to see the Chiefs in the playoffs, even if it's in Denver. It's just a team that why would you want to? The Chiefs get better come January. So if you have a chance to beat them again and knock them out of the playoffs, that's fantastic too.